Today's a big day. I'm so excited. We got Mike Bazell here with us today. We've been telling everybody that we're going to bring him on and let him talk to us a little bit. But first of all, I just wanted to say thanks for coming.
No problem.
And Blake will tell you that when I came up with this idea, I told you already, but the first name that came to mind was you. So
yeah, he's been talking a lot about you, man. I'm surprised you
I'm
just
excited.
got brother for the first time.
I'm really excited to have you on here. So if you want to, you can tell everybody who you are, a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself.
Okay. A lot of people in Coffee County know me, but I'm Mike Bazell, 34. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Mom moved me and my brothers to Douglas, Georgia when I was 5 years old. Went to East Side, then West Green, and grew up at West Coffee, then Coffee County High School. Graduated 2006. Straight after high school, went straight to the United States Navy.
Let's go. Thank you for your service, man.
No problem. 2 weeks after high school.
Wow.
Yeah, I was supposed to go in September, but I called my recruiters like, hey, I need to go now. Because if I would have stayed here, probably would have had issues and just young, just standing out here in Coffee County.
So I didn't know you were from Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you live in Jacksonville? Because, we lived down there for 10 years.
I stayed on the north side on Moncrief.
Moncrief, yeah. I worked all the cell towers over there on Moncrief. So, yeah, I know all about that area.
I grew up there. Most of my family there. That's where my dad family there, my mom family there. So.
That's why you down there at the Jaguars game all the time.
Well, my brother a Jaguar fan.
Okay. Yeah.
We are too, man. Yeah. For real, my father loves them.
Well, I'm a Browns fan.
I'm a Falcons
He's
fan.
Falcons. I know that. Yeah.
So it's a family rival game.
Well, listen,
okay. So you joined the Navy 2 weeks out?
2 weeks
What was
out.
that like, man? 2 weeks after graduation, you were in the Navy.
Young and just didn't know where I was going to be exposed to.
Yeah.
Just going to Chicago and they getting on the bus screaming at you. So it was an eye opener. I mean, just different. Which I was at ROTC, but I didn't know exactly what I was getting into.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to college, but I didn't get the scholarships that I wanted. So I knew the military would pay for my.
So were you going on a carrier or submarine or what?
On the newest ship. Not even carrier. I was on an amphibious assault ship.
Oh, really?
It's an LPD 18-1, the first of its kind.
Wow.
So we had the San Antonio class first. It was the trial of how that ship would work.
Okay.
Then you had the USS New Orleans, which I was on. I commissioned that ship. We helped build that ship. It was built in New Orleans.
Wow. That is awesome.
How long were you stationed? So you were stationed in New Orleans, or?
Yeah, it took us. They was already building it, but when I got there, we was almost done. So I was there in New Orleans for about a year, and we took the ship to San Diego, where it was our home station.
Okay.
So, man, what's it like being on a big ship like that? Is it like? Can you even like? I know like cruises and stuff like that, but that's a lot bigger boat.
It is a bigger boat. It's so much space. No, I never got seasick. I mean,
some people do though, right?
Yeah.
What's the Navy's secret to stop that? Because I can't go out there. I get sick and it drives me crazy.
I don't know. It's everybody's body's different.
Yeah, don't be sissy. Just throw up till you don't get used to it.
Yeah. Some people have to get used to it. You take medication every day, but for me, it was normal. Yeah. I mean, you could feel the rocking depending on how bad the waters are, but it was smooth. And with us, it was a small crew. Like a carrier has about 5,000 people on it. Okay. For us, we had at least 150 to 200. So it was a small family on a carrier-sized ship.
Talk about a game of hide and go seek.
Yeah, because our duties was to transport Marines. So when the Marines came on, it was hundreds of Marines.
Okay.
But the Navy, we had a small crew just to transport them. That's why the ship was so big.
Okay.
So that ship, it was different.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome.
Dude, and you were 18,
I didn't
19.
Even know that.
That's awesome.
So I met you basketball. You were obviously back here, and I think we were coaching basketball. I was helping Jadon, and you were coaching another team, and then I got to coach Jeremiah in baseball one year.
Yep.
So that's where I don't know. There was something about you that me and you kind of got to be buddies from the start, and I love Jeremiah. He was just a great kid and a really good athlete, and the kind of kid that you want to coach when you're a coach. So that's how me and Mike met. And then I know you have never met Mike till today.
Yeah,
so that's what makes it cool, man. I love it. So I'm glad
you get to know people, man.
I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so go ahead.
So the Navy did 4 years. It was a rough patch in the Navy. Did some up and downs. It was kind of a little struggle. But I think I learned a lot of discipline from it.
Right.
So when I was in the Navy, I said I want to get out and do something I really love, because I was being away from home. When you deploy, it's like 6 to 9 months. And I think we was in Bahrain for almost 4 months because we got in a collision with a submarine.
Really?
So I was away from home. It was an extended time because now we got to fix the ship.
Yeah.
So it just felt bad being
So
away.
whoever's driving that thing had to get in some trouble right there.
You talking
Right?
about a ship, a submarine?
And it was an American submarine.
Yeah.
So
That's some
technology
communication
don't always
errors.
work.
Yeah.
Anybody screaming, whoa?
Yeah. The radars didn't pick up each other. So when we hit, we thought we was under attack because we were close to Iran. This is during the Iraqi Freedom War. So I'm an Iraqi Freedom War vet.
Okay.
So we're near that. So we thought we was under attack. So everybody's freaking out. And
Alarms are going off.
Yeah.
Man.
And we had to go get the guns and do all this stuff. So it was scary. It's at night.
So your training kicks in right there, or you just do what you need to do, or you
try to
still
survive.
freaking out?
Yeah, it's everything. Everybody's mind is just going. So you got the upper heads, lieutenants. They're going all wild. So you just want to make sure you calm and you don't want to get in their way. So
You where you supposed to be when you're supposed to be. there.
yeah. So it was scary, but we found out we just hit a sub.
Well, when you know what's on those subs, it's kind of scary to hit them things too.
What is funny is he's like, oh, we just hit a sub. We ain't under attack. Like it's something minimal.
Right.
Submarine. You know what I mean?
There's no injuries though, but it just made us extend our trip. So that trip, it was long and
It's tough to be going like that.
yeah, it was tough. So my mental. So I was like, I need to do something I love. So I got out in 2010, went to college, got my bachelor's in criminal justice, because at this point I decided I want to be a juvenile probation officer. Because I know I had a troubled childhood. But we talk about Coffee County, how I grew up. I was probably one of them teachers like, yeah, he was bad.
Yeah.
But it was just, I guess I had a chip on my shoulder. I had to learn, So I went to college, got my bachelor's, and then I had an opportunity to get custody of my son, Jeremiah. I needed help, family help, so I moved back to Georgia. Because I stayed in San Diego since I was 18.
I was gonna say I see you in California a lot, so
I got a younger son out there as well. So he's with his mom, and Jeremiah's with me. But San Diego was nice. I ain't want to leave.
Yeah, I bet.
But when you need help, it's expensive out there. You have no family. You gotta make that sacrifice.
The help with the family is amazing.
I've heard. I got
My
friends that
parents
live
and
in San
everybody help
Diego.
us out.
Yeah. So
I got friends that lived out there, and they said San Diego was like 75, 80 every day, just the best weather
you pay for it though.
Yeah.
You pay for it.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful out there. I still go out there. I get the opportunity to see my son out there, and then I bring him back for the summer. But
What's he think about like South Georgia and the Gnats?
he hated.
I bet.
I put him in a soccer camp when he came here. He was the only kid just out there swiping.
It's a funny story about the Gnats, man. We had a kid one time coming to West Green from like up north.
Yeah.
And he comes the first day just screaming, something's attacking me. I'm like, what? And he's like, they're eating me alive. I'm like, bro, that's a gnat.
Right.
He's like, what's a gnat? I was like, that's a gnat. He goes, I hate this place. And he tore out running. But that's so funny.
That's exactly how my son
He's
is.
like, what is this?
Trisha's family's from Ohio.
Oh, yeah?
And so when they come down here, they're the same way. They don't know what to do with that.
And the humidity, right? They can't.
And
A
then
lot of
when
people
Bryce
can't handle
comes,
humidity.
I got a friend from Colorado who lives in Texas now, and I don't know if they have gnats in Dallas or not. I don't guess
No,
they
there's
do.
I don't
It's
think
a
they
gnat
do.
line. It's like south of Macon. So if you're, I don't know how that goes throughout the rest of the southern part of the United
I
States.
think Dallas and Atlanta are pretty close on the same line, so I don't think they do. And when he comes down here, they come every July the 4th, and he is miserable. I'm talking like, and we just get used to it, I guess.
We do.
Well,
They
you know,
say
like
you can
the
tell
past few
somebody
years,
if they're
they were
not
bad.
from here because they go like this, and we just
It's like eat them with our eyeballs. Like always catching them. You said you transported Marines earlier, and I just had a question for you. I have a cousin who's in the Navy and another cousin who was in the Marines. He's out now, but my cousin who's in the Navy is still doing whatever he does. Do y'all ever, when you picked up those Marines, do y'all ever talk trash to each other?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
that's why I wanted to ask, because one day, one Christmas, they got together, and it's the first time they'd ever been together since they were like on duty, and the jokes they had back and forth with each other was was pretty cool just to watch.
I got pretty good Marine friends, but that's just normal. They come on, they're talking trash, we're talking trash. It's just I
And
guess
then
a
Army
branch
guys
thing,
too, right? Yeah, just the different ranks and
But at the end of
different
the day,
branches.
Yeah, you become friends.
That's
though.
right.
Yeah, you
That's
still
good.
hang out.
I was wondering if y'all had any trash talk. Man, 'cause
Oh, yeah.
I witnessed them two just go back and forth with the jokes, so Marine jokes and Navy jokes, and then the Army jokes would come in there from somebody else in the family. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
But so California came here, got my master's in criminal justice, and I've been working for the state ever since. I think when I moved here, when I met you, I was a counselor at a prison, and then I've been moving up ever since.
That's what I told Blake before you came over. I
Which
said, I
prison?
think you worked at a prison.
Coffee Correctional.
In
Nichols.
Nichols, yeah, okay.
I was like 25.
He's probably too young to know my dad, but my dad was he's retired doing corrections now. He's actually now working at a jail in Vidalia, I believe.
Okay.
But he did the whole prison thing for 20 or 30 years, and as a counselor up there in McRae, and then Folkestone, Reedsville. He was at that big prison in Reedsville. He's been all over, so. But that's an interesting job in itself.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You have to earn their respect. Like working with them every day as a counselor, going in there, and they'd start out calling me Junior. I was like 25. I was like, hold on,
That's what's weird, man.
That ain't my name.
Yeah. Like I worked as a jailer when I was real young, like 22 in Irwin County.
In Irwin County, where I'm from.
Where this guy's from. Never saw him though, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
But it's different being young, walking to those places. But man, once you get there, man, it's regular people too. They just made a mistake. You know, that's all. And then you talk to them like a regular person, man. That's like they are. I mean,
you hit around the head. You got it. You earn their respect by respecting them.
Exactly.
And they used to respect me because I ran it straight down the line. I was honest, and so they was like, "Hey, yeah, this guy the real deal."
Right.
You know, if I can't do something, I'm gonna tell you I can't do it. If I can, this and that. Never lied to them.
That's
so
right.
They respect that.
Oh, absolutely.
So they started learning my name real quick.
Yeah, Junior.
So I did that for a while. I loved it, but then I think I did that for like 10 months. I wanted to still work with kids.
Yeah.
I got my degree to do juvenile, so I got an opportunity to do juvenile probation this time. So I did that for a while.
God, I bet that's tough though.
It is.
Tough.
I had more problems with parents than kids.
I can imagine, dude. As a coach to coach kids and stuff like that.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
The kids. I tell people all the time. The reason I coached was for the kids. I love the kids.
Yeah.
He's been a coach too. The kids, man, make everything better.
Oh yeah.
And then mom and daddy come in, and it's just tough to deal with them sometimes. And as a parent, I try to never be that parent to a coach.
Right.
You know, because I know what they're going through, and I know how hard it is. And sometimes, you know, I had as a baseball coach, I had a lot of kids. A lot of times didn't have a dad.
Yep.
And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, because every kid needs some male figure in their life to provide some type of, discipline obviously, but some kind of like example. Like, hey man, this is how a man acts.
Exactly.
Right. They're looking for guidance. Like at this level, as far as coaching goes, or even life, and at that level, you're there to guide them into making good decisions and learning how to work hard and stuff like that. And that's the most important thing. And that's where a lot of that gets lost. You know what I mean? Like people see maybe their kid's not playing or something like that, and it's upsetting to them. But that's not what you're sitting there trying to do. You're trying to teach them how to work harder and to learn things to go about getting better. A lot of times to get better for yourself, you're just going to have to take it into your own hands.
Yeah.
But those who guide them and give someone that push,
that's more than teaching them how to play sport.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You hit around the head more than sports.
And I had a rule when I coached Jeremiah with every team I've ever coached, like, hey, when you walk up, I'm giving me a hug. And I did that for a reason, because I knew there were so many kids that didn't have a man to put their arm around them and give them a hug.
Yep.
And to this day, Jeremiah's in the 9th grade now. If Jeremiah sees me right now, I guarantee you, I promise you, he'd walk up and give me a hug.
Yeah.
And every one of those kids I coach, 8th grade, 9th grade, they still, as soon as they see me. And that right there is what it's all about for me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't care about wins. I mean, you want to win. Obviously, I'm competitive, but it wasn't about winning and losing. It was about the kids. Man.
Yeah, you build those relationships at practice and stuff like that. When it's game time, it's game time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm super competitive.
I told Trisha when I started that my dream was one day be sitting down there at Bobby's or some restaurant in town, and Jeremiah come up and say, "Hey, Coach Tommy, here's my wife and my son."
Oh, yeah.
And
That's really what it's about.
I mean, I really think about that.
I don't know.
Stuff,
I've been, been coaching for almost 20 years, but my favorite thing is going to the gym, being there working out, and this kid comes by, is like, Coach Smith? I'm like, yeah, buddy. And he's like, yeah, man, remember I used to go to West Green, or you coached me with us tonight? I'm like, God, I'm getting old, but they remember
You'll always be coach.
Right. And then, dude,
always coach.
Avery was at softball practice the other day, and this kid came up, and he's like, dude, I still have where you wrote in my yearbook. And I had no clue what I written in his yearbook. That was 10, 15 years ago, But he said, man, I still have that. That's cool. And I was like, dude, it's like, man, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. You are making me want to continue doing what I'm doing because of little sections like that. When you can have one success story. I mean, that's not even a success story. That's just the kid remembers me and he remembers what I wrote in his yearbook. Exactly. And it's still, that's cool, man. That's why we keep doing what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you get to
you
change
talking
people's lives,
about
man.
juvenile probation.
Yeah.
So that's how we got on that subject.
Yeah, so juvenile, but I wasn't making a living. As a single father, you still gotta live.
Right.
So I transferred to adult probation and parole. I said, I'm having problems with parents. Well, I'm a supervisor.
Yeah, there you go.
Get them to kind of do what they're supposed to do, or you're going to have to get locked up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did that for about 3 years, and now I'm currently an investigator for the parole board, where I go into prisons, talk to lifers, gather more information for the board, and then talk to convicted felons who want their rights.
So, like, if they're trying to get an appeal and get out and get their sentence shortened or something like that, is that what you're doing, gathering that kind of information? Or?
Nah, so when they're a lifer with the possibility of parole, legally they have to be looked at by the parole board.
Okay.
So they can do the full term in life and die in prison, but they still have to get considered for parole to get released.
Okay, I got you.
So basically, we just gather more information what they've been doing since they've been incarcerated. Do they got family support, or just if they admit to the crime?
Right.
Yeah, dude, that's tough, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're talking about the possibility of parole. So if somebody comes in there and you're the guy who's signing on that dotted line, that's a very important. You're talking about people's lives, and you said they're like voting rights and stuff like that. If they do get parole, you have to oversee stuff like that.
Well, if they so convicted felon, when they get there, they're applying for their rights to be restored. They automatically can vote in the state of Georgia. Once you're off papers, you can automatically vote. A lifer who gets out of prison, you'll always be on parole. You're never off papers unless the parole board see fit, but that's very small. But they'll always be on parole if they get out of prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something.
So yeah, it's still a tough job because even when COVID hit, you're working from home all the time. So it's like you talk to these people every day. They have to go to bed, like talking to the real.
Man.
Yeah.
And you see pictures and.
So you were doing that over Zoom or something?
Like Zoom meetings with.
Yeah, you do it. Meet through like a webcam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, during COVID, we had to figure out a way to do it. So. Cause we couldn't go to
Life still
prison.
goes on, right? Yeah,
Right.
still good. Yeah.
Yeah, so now we're back in the prison cell, but
And that's probably better, man, because it's harder to get to know someone through a camera.
That's
you know what I
not-
mean?
yeah.
Like you get to see them, and interaction with them
Face to
helps.
face. Yeah.
That helps.
yeah. So I love the criminal justice field.
That's
So,
cool, man.
Yeah. So now on personal level, so that's what I currently do as a professional. So I still coach. I still do basketball.
We see each other all the time at a field or a gym or something.
I recently coached basketball this year. I just got back in because Jeremiah got older. So I coached rec ball without him, and that was just something new. I never did.
Yeah,
coaching
I hadn't
without
done
coaching my
that
son.
yet. No,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is a different because he's not there.
Yeah, but I got set up this year. They gave me a team where it was their first time playing. So we lost every game, but at the same time, I kind of told them, hey, it shouldn't be set up like that.
Yeah.
Because I volunteered when they asked for more coaches after they did, they do a draft process.
Yeah.
And I think whoever 3 coaches they had did a draft and draft all the good players.
Yeah.
So I was like, don't let that happen again.
What you mean, man? I'll have it.
Man, I can tell you some funny story. They do the same thing in baseball. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so I mean, and the kids, you had a couple games they cried, but my kids played their heart out every game.
Yeah.
That makes it
I
fun.
mean, they were first place in hard work. Like
Yeah.
every game, no matter what, they knew they wasn't gonna win because a lot of it was their first time playing. Like literally couldn't dribble the ball at 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoyed it still. Like we enjoyed it, had a good time in practice, and I think that relationship we built, they probably want to keep playing.
Yeah,
you know, I told them not to give up off that
That's
day.
the goal, man. That's if they want to keep playing after the season's over, that's you've done your
They
job.
still have that rule where you get the same team next year.
Yeah, if you had that same player, you gotta keep. You gotta keep them.
Yeah. See, what would happen in baseball would be like, hey, man, my cousin's going to help me coach. My son's, not my son, but somebody would say their son's the best player in the league. Then his cousin's the second best player in the league. He's going to coach me. And then these two people got to ride to practice with my kids. So now we got the 5 best players in the whole league on one team. And I'm telling you, I used to...
They say you can't please everybody. I feel like, man, it's a way to do it.
When you find out, let us know, man.
It's a
Let
way
us
to
know when
kind
you
of
find out.
compromise, meet to the middle. But
Yeah.
like I say, it was good to be back coaching though. I kind of enjoyed it. I have a busy schedule, so me finding time to do that was awesome. Then how Jeremiah kind of helped me in practice, I think he enjoyed that as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
The kids like that, too.
Yeah.
See, that's good to know because right now Thomas is all school ball and travel ball. So I'm at the point in life where I'm daddy now. And I put him on this travel ball team because I told Trisha and the coach, I said, I've always been coach and daddy, and I've never just got to be daddy. And as a coach, I don't know if you're the same way, but I'm harder on my kid than I am on everybody else.
I'm feeling that for the first time. Like, this is the first time that I'm just daddy out there.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, I'm always getting in the middle of it. I'm going to go out there. If they need help at practice, I'm going to be out there with them.
Well,
it's fun to sit back and watch.
Listen, my son, Thomas, he came to me and he said, Daddy, why do you treat me different than everybody else? And that kind of hit me in the face, because I knew I did. And I explained to him, like, look, son, I have to show everybody else's parents that you're not getting special treatment. I gotta be harder on you. So if they ever come to me, I can say, look how I, and he looks at me and he goes, Daddy, that ain't right.
That's
That ain't
right.
fair. And he's right.
We had the same conversation with Avery, like especially during soccer season, because I can't keep my mouth shut on the sideline, and I had to ask her. I'm like, listen, are you okay with me yelling and acting like a fool sometimes at you? And I was like, I'm not being mean to you. I'm trying to direct you in the right way that I know how. And she's like, no, I'm cool with it. She's like, my friends think you're a little crazy. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But if you're cool with it, I'm going to keep doing it. If you want me to stop, I'll back off. But I'm going to be hard on you.
Yeah.
And I was pretty hard. I feel bad sometimes leaving games, but she's cool with it. She's like, no, I get it. I needed to do that.
As long as you explain to him, that's why I do Jeremiah. I tell him I am treating you special because I'm harder on you than anybody else. Because I know what my son can do.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
I got
coach
higher
him since
expectations.
exactly.
You got to.
I know what you could put out. So when you put out something I know you could do better, I'm upset. Like I know you can go out there and do way better than he. Like, yeah, I probably could. Because I talk about, I know what you did right. And we're gonna talk about that as well. I'm gonna congratulate you, say I'm proud of you. But now, what did you do wrong so we can fix it?
That's
right.
right.
I need you to know too. And that's why it's just good to have that open communication. Like I'm being hard for a reason,
man. I love it.
Yeah.
and that it goes a long way because they respect you, not just why my dad always yelling and screaming or being hard.
Yeah.
I see a lot of potential in you.
See, I struggle because I didn't grow up with that communication.
Yeah,
It was, you do what I tell you to do, and if you don't like it,
Well, that's different times. That's
know,
what it
man.
was,
my wife's been really good about trying to teach me how to communicate better. And I still got a long way to
You're
go.
we're still that way. I'm still that way. You're going to do it whether you like it or not, but we're going to talk about it afterwards. You know what I mean? Like we can go out here and throw in the yard with Avery, and I can tell if she's been pouty, and I'm going to be like, which one do you want right now? You want daddy or you want coach? Because right now I'm in coach mode, and it's about to get real ugly real fast.
That's a good way to put it.
And we'll talk it out. And I'm like, now the coach in me says you're about to go run and get that ball, and you're going to chill out. That it means is, all right, you got to calm down. You're thinking about what you're doing wrong instead of what we need to be doing right.
Right.
And your focus is all out of whack. So
Might need
you have to
to steal
change
that
that.
from
Oh, steal it, man. Because what it does is when you're frustrated coach about to make people run, you sit back and you have that conversation with them, and you feel better about it. And then after you feel better about it, then you won't feel as bad when you go make them go run.
Oh, yeah.
So go run and get the ball now that we just had that conversation. Right? Yeah. So
That's true.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So you started back coaching, and then I know. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, started back coaching. and then I'm gonna get to the aim, but then I started back. But I started this new venture. I do acting now.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Yeah.
That's why when I put that on Facebook, I said actor because I saw you doing that the other day, and I was like, okay,
I want to hear all
wanna
about
know
this.
yeah.
Yeah, I've just been doing a couple plays lately. This guy I went to school with, Martellus Curtis. He actually works at Eastside.
Okay.
And he writes scripts and stuff, and he needed a male. So I did one play for him, and he was like, "Hey, I need you back."
Yeah.
And now we on the fourth play.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool, man.
Like you doing it in a live audience, or y'all filming it?
Right now we're filming it. He do stage plays as well, but ever since COVID, he haven't got back to the stage plays.
Okay.
But I think he's working his way back to that.
Right.
So we do just film it, and then we'll put it.
So you come in, you have a script and all that, or y'all just
Yeah,
sort of,
we've been studying this long script. Now this
Really?
script I'm working on now, I got so many lines.
Yeah.
that's
So,
impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
I
memorize.
don't know if I could do that
I don't
anymore
think
because
I
I can't
could.
memorize stuff anymore. My brain won't. It just won't.
I
do it.
can't
It's
remember
hard.
anything.
It's repetition.
Well,
Last
he's much
play
younger than
was
we are,
easier,
too,
but
now.
this one it's all
Yeah.
over the place. Like I come in, I come out, I come in, come in. It's all over the place. But
That's got to be fun though.
oh yeah, that's why I enjoy. I say I want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't think
You never
I
know.
would like it. You know, I do spoken word. Like I get in front of audience. I do poetry as well.
I let Blake
I
listen
saw
to one of
clip
yours.
of yours.
Was that earlier today? Wasn't it?
Was that or yesterday? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was
See, I
good
can't
too.
remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been writing since a kid, but to perform it, that was something new. I think I started performing in 2018. So that was just always as a man. You know, my father was in Florida, so I really didn't have a male figure. So that was like a way. I think my first poem I heard in school, I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
I could express
That's
my
cool.
feelings without, without being judged. You know, as a boy, people like, why?
So where do you
for
where do you
sure.
perform at?
Different events. Like we have a poetry events here. I perform there.
Man, we're gonna have to go check that out, Tommy, next time he's doing something.
know.
Yeah.
I have to keep y'all in the loop with it.
You got to get a
for real.
website or something.
Yeah.
Well, me and my brother got one. It's Bazell.org.
Okay,
So you
I
can
went there.
find us,
So I think I saw.
pictures, everything.
Yeah.
But we still setting it up. So
You got to get some videos of you up there. Get somebody when you're doing those recordings.
yeah, we got a whole
Little
YouTube.
clips.
I got a whole YouTube, Mr. Ambitious, and now I'm
Okay.
on all music platforms. So I put some of my poetry on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon
Okay.
Music,
Awesome.
YouTube.
Dude, you need to teach us how to do that. So we can we put this on?
On Spotify, yeah.
Really?
hmm
See, I need to
They
learn
put
to do that.
podcasts on there. I want to say it may be. I see a link, but it is a way you
Okay.
can put it on there.
Yeah, send
and
it to me.
I want to say it's free.
Okay. So
No, it's not free, but it's a payment, but it's a 1 year payment, I think.
okay. So
Heck yeah.
like ambitious young men, you call it AIM, and I call it AYM. So,
AYM,
okay.
AIM, Ambitious Young Man, started in 2018. That's something I was working with juvenile. I still want to work with kids. So I was working with adults. I say, man, what can I do to work with kids? Because it's something that needs to be done. I done
Yes.
seen stuff a lot of people don't see in this community. What can I do to help instead of complain about it? And
Right.
you get a lot of people in the community say, this and that.
Man, people love to complain, don't
But
they?
wait, what are you doing?
Right, nothing.
You know,
That's a lot
and
of-
I say,
it's easier to complain.
yeah, and I was scared to step out because how I'm gonna do this? You know, I'm a single father. I'm running for him, running for me. With the money wise, you know. So I had the housing authority say, "Hey, you can use the Roundtree Center." So I had a free building. Then now, how do I get the people there? So Mayor Paul called me and said he got some programs coming in. So he had the teen court program and he has the mayor's youth council. So the teen court program is something special. I think a lot of people in the community don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
I don't know anything about it.
So, you know, as a juvenile probation officer, you go to juvenile, you have a record. When you go through the juvenile court with Judge Ross. So we try to prevent that. What can we do to prevent it? Mayor had started a teen court where the peers are the lawyers, peers are the jurors, your peers are the bailiff. The only adult person in there is the judge.
Wow. Okay.
So this way, you don't go through the juvenile court system. You just go through, and it don't be on your record. So basically, we provide mentoring services, community service, and you kind of like write an essay about what you learned from your mistakes. But you go through this whole process for 6 months.
Okay.
And if you
That's cool.
finish
So
it,
you get to learn how to be a lawyer and how to sit on a jury and all
yeah.
that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah's got to be the lawyer.
he's a bailiff.
Oh, the bailiff.
Yeah. He still don't like talking in front of people, so
Yeah.
he rather do raise your right hand.
I got you. I got you.
So you have kids that come in and they get up there and speak on behalf of the other students as well?
Yeah, you have like they have a defense attorney and the prosecutor
And what age groups are we talking?
from middle school to high school.
Okay.
That's
Anywhere
awesome.
from like 12 to 18?
So you have some age 11 in sixth grade,
Okay,
so 11
yeah.
to 18. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. That'd be interesting to go watch.
Oh yeah, and so the young men who goes through the program comes to AIM, and I tell them, hey, after 6 months you can still stay in. But we had some people go through that program, become lawyers, graduate. So I think the Team Court program is something to keep them out of the system. Because that still affects you. You try to go to the military, they can see juvenile.
So how can people here in Douglas get involved and like contribute, or I don't know, what do you need? Do you need money? Do you need
For Team
probably
Court?
everything? Yeah,
For AIM,
yeah.
AIM, we need everything. Team Court is ran by the city, so they're perfectly good.
Okay.
But that's first Saturday of every month. They do Team Court at the Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
So that's actually a great program. I think a lot of people just check it out. Just come
Yeah.
see how the lawyers do and how they.
So how do y'all pick the lawyers?
You apply, and then if you want to, they train you up because they actually meet with the DA. They meet
Man,
with other
that is
lawyers in
awesome.
town.
I'd love to get Thomas involved in that because he needs to learn how to get up and speak in front of people because he doesn't like
I
it
think
either.
I think all youth should be able to learn how to speak in front of people.
It's such a
and
important
it's
life
harder for other
skill.
people, but yeah, but like I got a buddy who's terrified. He probably still can't get up and talk in front of people today. But I mean, everybody gets nervous, but that's something awesome to learn at an early age. And just
It's
know,
an important life skill to have.
That's why I got
that
Jeremiah in
setting's
the
impressive.
Oh, yeah.
That setting, man.
and he's on the mayor's youth council. So he's a commissioner. You have a junior mayor, and then the rest of them are commissioners. So he's been doing that for 3 years now. So you can be an 8th grader to 12th grade to be on the commissioner and the mayor.
That's probably
So
gonna help him when he gets
helps
ready to go to
him
college and stuff.
with
too.
public speaking.
Yeah.
But they have to speak in front of the public. So he's kind of still nervous, but it helps him. You
That's
know,
okay.
getting used to it.
Yeah.
So, we
I
have-
am too. I get nervous doing this.
Yeah,
So
for real.
I enjoy them programs. So those programs are, I think a lot of people don't know about, but that's why I help with AIM.
Well, I know when you guys were pumping gas, I think that's a big because I saw people all over Facebook sharing that.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that's a great idea to help get that word out because
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people in town are like, "What are they doing over there?" And I bumped into you guys. It was David Pollock up at the First Baptist Church
Yep,
when
we
Pollock
did that.
came down, and just seeing those kids, man, and just I love it. I just thank you for me as a dad and as a coach and somebody who's seen and you too a lot of kids that need that. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And if there's anything I can do to help, I mean,
Yeah, anything like
call
just
us, man.
call us if we need something.
I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not at a baseball game or dude, I'm available.
Oh, yeah.
So
And that's what I tell folks. A lot of people ask me, is it just for delinquent kids or this and that? I say, no, it's really for all young men because I feel like me growing up and my dad so far away and nobody dared to push me. That's why I pushed Jeremiah because I had nobody to push me what I wanted to actually do. I just quit. My mom was like, all right, you don't want to do it? You don't have to do
Yeah.
it.
All right.
But you always need that extra push. So I feel like this program give young men a safe space. That's all I wanted to create,
Yeah.
a safe space. Because I know you're not going to tell your mom everything. You're not going to do this, but we can talk about subjects you probably scared to talk about. We
Yep.
can do things in the community that because some of them don't play sports. A lot of them don't do nothing but go to school and go home.
Right.
And the mom said, I need him to do something. So this is something that fulfill their time.
Man, that's the time of the day,
Yeah.
man. Like we
Yeah.
always trying to get your kids to do something instead of just sit in the house.
and get in trouble.
Get in
They get in
trouble,
trouble.
man.
You gotta
Idle
find something.
time
Oh
is
yeah,
bad
you're either
time.
gonna start running the streets, or you're gonna get outside and do something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yep.
So, well, dude, thank you for that. That's
Yeah.
that's a great idea. How'd you come up with that?
Talking about AIM?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. It's just something, I don't know. It just popped to me and I
so
just-
did you get Mr. Ambitious from that, or did you get that from Mr. Ambitious?
Well, I always gave myself like a nickname.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm driven purpose. Like ever since I got even before the military, I feel like if I have a goal, I'm gonna go get it. Like it's something that I always, pride myself on just doing, just always trying to go to the next level.
Right.
And I just stuck with that name, and then I just came up with Ambitious Young Man.
That's a great name.
That is, I mean, great, man. It's
It
funny
is.
how things get put together. That's
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
I started that, and I was coming out of pocket for a while, just trying to how to survive with financials with that. So 2020, I think a business wanted to give us a check. So I'm saying, how am I gonna get the check? And they wanted to know if it was a nonprofit 501(c)(3) because
Right.
they get a tax credit.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right,
You got to figure out how to get that done.
yeah, and I did that. I figured out a way, got it done, did all the paperwork, and now we're officially a 501c.
That is awesome.
So if
People are a
somebody-
lot willing to give to that.
If someone's wanting to donate it, what do they have to do?
They can cash out as ambitious young men, message me, write a check.
Okay,
Either way,
yeah, I
but
think-
You said Bazell.org, right?
Yeah,
I'll
Bazell.org.
post that link on
Yeah.
when I post this.
That's cool.
but it's something now we're looking to get in grants, try to get us a building because now the city let us use the team center behind Central Square Gym. But I feel like we still need our own place.
Yeah.
And the way I want to grow. And then actually we started one in Macon, Georgia too.
Okay.
So my younger brother, he's a rec department supervisor, and he started the program in Macon. So now we have Ambitious Young Men in Coffee County and in Macon, Georgia.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So we got
Eventually, you could be everywhere.
that's the plan.
That's a good plan, man. I like that.
That's
Cool.
the plan. 'Cause I always say we can build more mentoring programs than prisons.
Yep.
That's a start.
That's a
Because
great way to look
yeah,
at it.
We don't want to build
Absolutely.
a place for them to go. We want to build a place to build them up.
Yeah.
And I really believe in that.
Yeah.
I really do.
I do too. Well, if we can help you in
Give
any
them
way,
a
man.
path to choose from instead of a bad destination to go to.
Exactly.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome, dude. Well, dude, I want to say just you're doing great things. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you're doing for the young men around in the community, and
Appreciate
it's
it.
amazing. And you're a Georgia fan, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and thanks for coming out today, man.
No problem.
I knew when I contacted you, you'd be up for it, and I had talked to you about it at basketball practice one day. You know, I mentioned it to you then, and I just appreciate you coming out, dude.
No problem.
And,
Appreciate y'all.
Again, I'll post Bazell.org. I'll post it on when I put this on Facebook and YouTube. Anything else you want to shout out while you're on here?
That's definitely it. You can find Ambitious Young Men on all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Okay.
All the YouTube.
I love how, man, you come in here and we're talking about maybe a story, but we've learned a lot today, and you've done a lot for a lot of people for a long time. That's amazing. So,
This is why I wanted him to be on
That's
here.
right, man. That's cool.
Told you.
Let's
So,
go.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, bro.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
All right, bud. We'll see you. See y'all later.